Okay. Um, Hi, Donna.
Hi, Eric.
I see you're left-handed.
Yes, very much so.
Okay. You could have been a good pitcher in baseball. They're always looking for lefties.
Funny thing, but I don't throw with my left hand.
Really?
No, I only throw with my right.
Can you give me some sense of how many of these typing session videos you've seen before?
Of yours?
Yeah.
Or just in general, people?
No, of mine.
Um, Not very many. The last one that I recall looking at was the girl a couple of weeks ago, maybe. About somebody going somewhere and
O-
I don't know. So
Okay.
not very many. I don't because I don't understand it.
Okay. Cool. So I will ask some questions and then get some answers, and then I'll sort of pause and explain what I was looking for and why and what I'm interpreting those as. Okay.
Okay.
So first off, a duck and a priest walk into a bar. Can you come up with some punchlines for that joke?
A duck and a priest.
Hey,
What kind of bar?
Cameron, can you close the door, please? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What kind of bar are they walking into?
It's up to you. You're creating the joke.
A duck and a priest. You want a punchline? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
The priest is sitting at the bar with the duck and asks the duck, "Why did the chicken cross the road?"
Okay. And what was the answer to that question?
I don't know.
To tell jokes with a duck and a priest in a bar?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you? I'm going to demonstrate something to you, and then I'd like you to do your own version of it. Okay. I'm just going to basically recount some minor details from my last couple of hours. So a couple of hours ago, I typed somebody who was an ESTP, and then after that, I watched a little bit of this show I started watching on Netflix called 100. And then I remembered, oh yeah, I'm working on this other thing. I started working on that other thing again. And then Cameron came over, and I said, I got to work on a little bit. And then this happened.
Okay.
Can you do the same thing for your last couple of hours?
Yeah. Let's see. I got up, did exactly what you were doing, and I go, God, I gotta weed my front yard. So I go out front, start weeding my front yard. I come in and fed the dogs. A friend called and wanted to open baseball cards and wanted me to see them open the baseball cards. And then I got busy standing in the kitchen for a couple hours, and then I thought I'd take a nap and
Do you cook?
had to.
Do you cook food?
Not at all. Only for my dogs.
Do you get takeout food?
Yeah. I go to the grocery store and stuff, and I'll make something microwavable or whatever. But
Yeah,
um,
that's easy.
yeah, because I'll cook for my dogs, but nah.
Okay. Tell me about your sleep schedule. Is it very regular or irregular?
Whenever I'm tired.
Okay, and how much sleep per 24 hours do you think you get on average?
Mm, I'd say about 6, 7 around there. But at once, 5. If I get an hour nap, or something like that. But
Okay. Can you, what? I'm going to let's play a little bit of a word association game. I'm going to give you a word, and this is the textbook, the regular old fashioned word association. So I'll say one word, you say the first word that comes to mind, okay? Mountain.
basket. I don't know why basket was in my head when you were talking the whole time. The word basket was sitting there, and it had to come out. So That was okay. So
Okay. Pear tree.
fudge.
And McDonald's.
Oh my god, I was gonna say Mickey.
And a particle accelerator.
Toilet paper.
Okay. Now, can you tell me a personal story that links to mountains?
Yes. I took a road trip with a friend, and we went from Arizona all the way to Colorado, and there was this really cool mountain, and I went all the way out to the ledge, and I'm like, come on, you got to see it. And she wouldn't come out to look at the edge of it, and I took a picture from there, and then I put it on my wall to my phone so I could see it. And every time I see it and I show it to her, she goes, "Oh my god, I wish I would just went to the edge with you like that." Yeah.
Hmm.
So
So, are you, in general, fairly adventurous about, like, 3 mile hike? No problem. Let's just go.
no, I'm the laziest person right now. If you imagine, I have a military background, uh, so yeah, exercise now for me. I did enough, I think. So
Okay.
but I'll go out and walk. I'll go. Friends want to go do this. I'll go. Hit golf ball, basketball. I'll do anything. Play with the kids. And stuff like that. But no, I won't just go on a 3 mile hike.
Okay,
No.
for some reason, circumstances have compelled you to want to make a birdhouse. You just have this sudden urge. Maybe you saw something on TV, or maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know, you just really want to make a birdhouse. Now, walk me through the process by which you make a birdhouse.
If I don't have the materials at my house, I would go to like Home Depot. Depends on the type of birdhouse, and gather the materials. Now, first, I would probably draw it up or look it up how to make it, and then try it out of Legos or something, and then if I wanted to make it out of material or whatever, go to Home Depot, Michael's, blah blah blah, and go
Does,
get the stuff.
does that sound like something difficult for you to complete, or not so
Oh god,
difficult?
no, not at all. I can do it in my sleep.
Okay. Um, are you reliable when it comes to keeping track of all your paperwork in life? And uh,
Yeah,
yeah, you are. Okay.
yeah, because it's mine. If it was other people's, they wouldn't think I was keeping it in line, but the way I think of it or whatever, it's in line. Like I know all my stuff.
Okay. Now, how about physical objects around the house? Do you have a lot of objects, few objects, and if you do have a lot of objects, do you have them organized well?
Okay, I have objects. Yes, they are organized. And uh, what was the other question?
Um,
Are they organized? Yep.
yeah. Do you
Uh,
have a lot or a little, and are they organized?
uh, yeah, the items are like things I've collected or I like, and they're organized, like baseball cards or like action figures and stuff like Legos, stuff like that.
Okay, cool. Uh, do you do any creative endeavors like writing, music, acting, dance, anything like that?
I played the drums since I was 10. I still have my original drum set. Let's see, writing music. No, I can read music. Music is in our family. My mom plays piano. A brother, a nephew-in-law that is awesome at the guitar. So music's in our family. Acting. Um, no, I don't know. No acting. I
So
don't like standing in.
you don't write your own. You don't write any of your own songs.
No, I write a lot of stuff like in my journals and stuff like that, poems and stuff like that. But no, I mean you could turn all that stuff into music, but no, like song, like music.
When you're drumming, do you sing when you're drumming? Like just hum along with your drumming?
Yeah, I hum along all the time. I hum all the time.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
Do you find it's easier to drum well when you're humming with the drumming?
yeah. It's like one and the same basically. You're humming and you're tapping your hands or Tapping your foot.
Have you ever played live in a show in front of people?
No, only in junior high, and once I got to high school, no, it was more sports. I grew up in a town that they had big, huge parades, and I played in the parades and stuff like that, and that was, you know,
What sports did you play?
uh, volleyball, basketball, track and field,
Which were you best at?
basketball.
Which did you
It,
like best?
um, if I could have played them at the time when girls could play sports, it would have been football and soccer down there. But basketball, I love basketball, and so I figured it would take me the farthest, and it did. So
Did you go to college? Did you play in college
yes, yes,
for like a Division 1 program?
uh, yes. But my grades didn't cut it. But then I figured I don't think I'm at college to play sports. I think I'm at college to do college, and so it didn't really mesh, the whole sports in college, and so then I joined the military. So
I see. And how did the routines of the military work for you? I mean, don't you have to like
loved
go to bed at a certain time, wake up at a certain time, all that kind of stuff?
loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it every minute of it.
Um, so did you feel as though you had clear guidance where prior you had lacked it, or what?
No, it just came natural. It was easy. It was structured. It was, I didn't have to think about it to do it. How hard is it to make a damn bed? That's what pissed me off all the time. Jesus, just remember how to make the bed, for the love of God. So I always made sure I was in a position that I didn't have to, you know, I already learned it. Like I knew it, so I just, I didn't have to wait for someone else to learn. But it was a team thing, and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
it was it was either to help. It was easier to help the people learn the stuff than stand back and just get mad all the time. So it just came natural.
So is it if something breaks, are you more likely to fix it yourself, ask somebody else to fix it, or if something breaks and there's a group of people, do you trust yourself to fix it more than you trust other people?
Yeah. If depend, most of the time doesn't even depend on what it is, but I'll fix it. Yeah, I'll do it myself. I don't
Okay.
have, yeah. But if it's not my expertise or in my area, I'll let somebody else take the initiative, and then I'll learn from that, and then I'll know the next time or whatever, and then I can jump in. That's a
Okay.
funny say that. I was driving in the parking lot of Fry's, and these ladies were trying to shove these two chairs into the front seat of this four-door car. By the time I parked, they were still trying to shove these two chairs in there. I was carrying some stuff. I set it down. I go, can I guys give you a piece of advice? Take the chairs out, drop the seat down this way, take the chairs, go through here, and they'll fit right in. They're like, oh yeah, that will work. And I just walked off. I couldn't, from the time I saw them trying to shove them chairs in, and I parked and walked back past them, I couldn't handle it. I just had to just blurt it out to them. I said, and you're welcome. Bye. They weren't there when I came back out. So,
Do you like traveling?
I did. Well, in the military, I traveled a lot. And then, uh, I was involved for a few years, and
What's a subject area that you know a lot about that I could ask you trivia questions about? You think you'd get a lot of them right? If you were on Jeopardy, what's the category you'd pick at the top?
top of the cat. Anything in organization, sports, mainly basketball. I'm picking like different categories and stuff.
How about American history?
Oh, a little bit, but I'm only learning because of my mom now, because we talk about it a lot now and stuff, and I'm really interested in it and stuff like that. I mean, you can give me some questions, I'll try it.
I'm just trying to figure out where you feel as though your own knowledge areas are.
Um, Yeah, I don't know. You just throw a topic out, and if I can get it, I'll get it. But if I can't, I say, hey, I don't know.
What kind of media do you like to watch or listen to?
Um, I just started watching Facebook and YouTube and stuff like that in the last couple of years. And TV, no, I don't like the news and the stuff. I mean, I do because I like to know what's going on, but sometimes it's And sports is just odd now, so I don't like watching that. I like watching YouTube stuff. I like watching live stuff, like the zoos and the different countries, their live feeds and streams and stuff like that. I like to watch people, people are out there. I want to see people. Yeah.
Okay, what was the question I was just about to ask you? Okay. So if I give you two sentences and I want you to tell me which of these two sentences is more likely to be a sentence that you would say. The first sentence is words mean things. People can't mean anything other than what they say. And the second sentence is people mean things and words are a poor way to convey the depth of their meaning.
One, it depends on the person if they know what they're talking about and what they're saying. But yeah, words do mean things. And if you are misinformation and you're not saying the right words, people are going to get so. Unless people know what they're talking about, they're just going to spew crap out. So in a sense, yeah, words do mean things, but it depends on who's saying it and who's listening, and if yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you some TI questions.
I don't even know what the TI thing is, so you're asking me something I have no clue what this means.
Okay, yeah. It's just basically deductive reasoning problems. So, for example, who is my mother's mother in relation to me?
Your grandmother.
Right. And who is my father's only brothers, only sons, only sister in relation to me?
Your cousin.
Correct. And if some frogs enjoy baseball and all baseball enjoyers eat peanuts, is it the case that some frogs eat peanuts necessarily?
They could, because they like baseball, and all baseball like frogs, and frogs like baseball, so.
Okay.
No.
How about this? Only people from Europe eat foie gras. I eat foie gras, therefore I am from Europe. Valid or invalid?
Well, you're not from Europe.
Well, that's true. How about this? All A's have B. I have B. Am I necessarily an A?
No. You're just a B.
Okay.
You said all B's.
Okay, so how about this? Only D's have E's. I have an E. Am I necessarily D?
All D's have. I'm lost.
I'm sorry. Let me repeat it. Only D's have E's. I have an E. Does that make me a D?
No, because only D's have E's, and you're just an E. You're not a D.
I have an E. I have an E though.
Yeah, but you're not a D. You said only D's have E's, and you said you're an E.
I said only D's have E's, and I have an E. Am I therefore a D?
Oh, you have an E. You're not an E. You have an E. Well, you could, but I don't know.
Okay.
You could be E, D. You could be everything else.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let me try this other kind of question. If Bob and Joe both leave the house to go watch the baseball game, then Mary will be at home alone. And she'll call Charles over and Charles will get his Mac on. Okay? But if either Bob or Joe stays home, then that won't happen. Now, it just so happens, right before they're about to leave for the baseball game, Bob learns that he is under house arrest. What can we conclude?
What, does Joe call Charles? Bob pick up with Mary? I don't know. Does Charles know about this whole thing? Or, I mean, did the guys know about Charles and the thing, you know, when they go off to this baseball game?
Okay, so the thing is, this is a TI question that's basically exemplifying the question before that, which was about how do words mean things or do people mean things. So what you're saying here is you're taking a very much of a people's mean things approach. You're saying, well, those words don't mean anything without additional context. So, okay. That would mean that we're looking at TI. Well, I mean, TI, it's hard to say where it is exactly at the moment, but you did well on the genealogy questions.
Yeah, I did that for about 5 years straight. Just deep genealogy of my family and stuff. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I haven't done it in a while, but yeah, I dove into genealogy there for a while.
Okay. If I have either a horse or a cat, and I don't have a cat, can we conclude I necessarily have a horse?
I mean, you just said if you had a horse or a cat, you don't really have a cat, well, then you really don't have a horse. You just said you did.
Okay. Let's go to extroverted intuition now. Extroverted intuition is a function that is about coming up with ideas. So, what I would like to do is I would like to play rhyming sentences. I'll say a sentence, and then you say a sentence that has about the same amount of syllables that rhymes, and then I'll rhyme and move until we run out of rhymes. Okay, so
Okay.
I'll start. I'd like to take some money to the bank.
To put the pig in the tank.
And thereupon I'll name him Frank.
Because he can take a drink.
And if the check he writes is blank,
I will kick his little tank.
and if that action makes him wank,
I will send him to the tank.
all right, that's pretty good. We completed a full poem there. Let's try this other thing here. It's an idea where I'm going to tell you a sentence. I want you to basically pretend you've misinterpreted one of the words and make the sentence before make sense anyway. Like, so, for example, I might say, we might start with something like, I visited the bank of the river today. Then the next person might say, having deposited my money accordingly, I discovered that it was all floating down the river. And then I might say, River Phoenix had indeed turned into water and was carrying away my money. And then the other person might say, like, money, the name of the prostitute I was enslaving.
I mean, that's some bad passage on there, man. For going to the riverbank and it went to.
Well, the point isn't where the story goes. It's called the Equivocation Game, because words have multiple meanings. It's where you're trying to be a character who has misinterpreted my sentence in a way, so to speak. So here, let me give you a starting point, okay? 30 rocks sat near the grounds where I had set up camp. 30 rocks sat near the grounds where I had set up camp.
There was 30 people at the camp that stacked rocks by the river.
Okay. So an example of what I was trying to do, this is only the second time I've ever tried this, so by the way, you're kind of a guinea pig here, but what I'm trying to get at is you might say something like, having decided to build my camp on a large pile of coffee grounds, I was confident that the nearby outhouse wouldn't smell. The smell of the nearby outhouse wouldn't reach me as I slept.
Yeah, I would have never went there.
Okay. So, can you tell me about your experience with typology so far, like in terms of what do you think it means to be an, I don't know, pick any given type that you feel like you can give me your understanding of what that type is like.
None whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
No whatsoever. Because I didn't really know. I don't know about it, and I've just been trying to discover like certain aspects of it for me, for who I am and stuff. And so when I found your channel, that's how I found about typology and stuff. So I searched around and I looked at stuff, and I didn't get it what they were talking about and stuff. But I always drifted back to yours. But I wanted to know more about it, so I didn't want to take those tests and stuff online and stuff.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to be labeled by some piece of whatever, whoever made that test up. So
right.
I just wanted someone to do their job, and that's your job. So
yeah, sure, gotcha. So anyway, I can tell you quite confidently what type you are, and the reason I ask these questions is because
I have no clue. Whatever you're gonna say, I have no clue.
The reason I ask these questions is because there are a variety of contexts in which people come into these conversations, and some of them are come here because they specifically want me to verify what they want to believe initially or something. So the thing is, you're an ESFP, to get to the chase, and the reason I can feel quite confident about that is because the expressions of two particular functions are pretty easy to distinguish, pretty easy to measure, and that is TI and NE. So I'm going to link you, by the way, right now to this. I'll send you an email too about it or something. But this is another person who's the same type as you that came in to ask me to assess her again because she concluded from watching my videos that she had polar TI. Polar TI is the thing that happens when I ask you the black and white questions, and you say, "Well, that's too black and white. You can't know whether blah 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 blah." Your answers to a whole series of those questions were very textbook polar. Now, if you have polar TI, that means you are either one of two types, ENFP or ESFP. What we just did with the extroverted intuition was my trying to determine whether you were an extroverted intuitor or an extroverted sensor. I don't believe you to be an extroverted intuitor. I believe you to be an extroverted sensor. Your SI is rock solid, which is to be expected from fifth slot, which is to say you can recount a bunch of details, but it's not really your nature to tell a bunch of personal stories about yourself. So what I would like to do now is basically ask you to respond to what I've said so far and or direct me in terms of where you'd like me to go as far as either testing more or telling you more about what this means.
I think I want to look at some of your videos and stuff so I could understand it more, and then if I have questions or something or more insight in it, that we could talk again or whatever.
Sure. Hey, listen. If you want to end this video now, I still owe you half an hour. You can split this in two if you want.
Okay. Yeah. I just now I don't know what those letters you just said, so I'm like eager to go look to see what they mean.
Okay.
I don't understand what they mean.
Let's split it in two. And if you're willing to let me publish this video, that'll be a very fun thing for everybody, because then they'll be able to say, okay, in the next time you meet her in the second session, make sure you ask this or this or
Okay.
whatever. Okay, is that cool?
Why not?
All right, so shoot me a day or time that you want, and I'll confirm it. If you can just email me the day or time you want for the next session, we'll finish this up and we'll split it in two.
Okay, you said ES